What's up, guys? Welcome to Wednesday with the Wife. Today we are going to talk about the 5 love languages and how that is important to the relationship, to the marriage. I didn't have a clue what love languages were until somebody said something to me about them. And then things started making a whole lot of sense, and it started breaking down more of individuals and what they required, so to speak, in a relationship.
Do you want to tell them what they are?
So 5 of them. First one. The first one is words of affirmation. Number 2, quality time. Number 3, receiving gifts. Number 4, acts of service. And number 5, physical touch. That's what she's doing right back there. See? For us, this was a really cool experiment to kind of break down each one and see what we were and
I knew what I
apply
was.
it.
And I knew what he was. You didn't know what I was?
No, I didn't know what I was.
Oh, come on.
Well, I didn't know what they were until...
I mean, he had never heard of what they are.
Right.
Like, that they actually existed. But when I told him the 5 that they were, before we even took the quiz, you knew what you were out of the 5.
Yeah.
And I knew what I was out of the 5. And we knew what each other was without even taking the quiz. However, I don't think that we were loving each other in each other's language until we made an effort.
Right. And that went a long way. A really long way. She is quality time and...
Whoa, it's not good.
I knew these like a minute ago when we were talking about them, and now I forgot.
My number 1.
Number 1 is quality time.
Like 99.9%. My 0.1% is...
quality time.
My 99.9% is quality time. So that other 0.1%.
My bad, I got it backwards. Acts of service.
Good thing that's not my number 1. Just saying.
See, the amazing thing, a lot of people think that quality time is, getting dressed up and going out and, having these fancy things to do all the time. And the amazing thing about quality time is we can sit here and do absolutely nothing and just enjoy each other's presence. And she's happy with that. And I'm happy with that. It's very peaceful. I love it. Acts of service, I don't do enough of it. I'll just be honest.
Well, like, for example,
It's kind of scary.
I don't know. Can they hear you go?
I'm sure they can, because I'm a little worried.
Okay, for example,
you
will come in from work with a rose.
Yeah.
And I absolutely, my love language is nowhere, not even close to receiving gifts. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I don't feel loved by that rose.
No more roses.
Well, it's a sweet thing, but sometimes they'll sit in the fridge and I don't even put them in the vase. And that I would much...
I've only done that once.
Okay, well, I would feel more loved if he would come home and say, hey, baby, after dinner, why don't I get the dishes while you go take a bath? That means more to me than that rose by a ton. By a ton. Also...
The purpose of this video is to help me learn more about the acts of service.
No, it isn't. We have been... This love language thing we've been doing for like 4 years.
Yes.
I'm just giving examples because I have another example. His love language, one of them, his number 1 is physical touch.
Yes.
Which, let me just go ahead and cover that. I have never been a touchy-feely person. It's just not my thing. And I have had to go out of my way to, now it comes naturally to just, I mean, do I not? Every time he is sitting next to me, I'm just rubbing all the time. It kind of gets on my nerves how
That's what I was gonna say.
how much I actually do it because he doesn't do it to me. It's weird. But anyway,
I do.
you do, but not like all the time. I'm
No.
like always just rubbing. But I didn't, it didn't come naturally to me. But now it's just, now it is. But anyway, what I was going to say was his second love language, which I don't know if you're like tied on these two or not. But his second one is words of affirmation. So therefore, this man says, I love you
All the
50
time.
times a day.
All the time.
Mine is not words of affirmation. I will tell him I love him back. I don't ever have to say it first because he's done said it 50 times before I can say it once. And it's wonderful because if he didn't say it, then I would not probably be
I've actually
neglected.
done that before and just refrained from saying it for a while. And she was like, "Hey, what's wrong with you? Is there something going on?"
Because it's not out of character. But what I'm saying is, like, his is words of affirmation. And I still to this day struggle with that because he will say, well, you don't even tell me I look nice. Okay, I know he needs me to say that because that's how he feels loved. But I think the reason I don't say it as much is because he says it to me constantly. You look
'Cause you're
beautiful.
beautiful, baby.
See? And so I don't ever want it to be said out of habit. And I always, if he looks like extra, extra good that day, I'm always like, you look sexy today. Do I not?
Yes.
But I don't do it every day. And he needs it every day.
She don't want to spoil me.
So I'm not very good in that department. Wouldn't you agree? I struggle. I admit it. You struggle with acts of service. I struggle with
Right.
with
Right. And
but we know that each other struggle with that.
Right. That's the part of having an awesome marriage is understanding that the other person isn't going to be perfect. You know, I would like to have more words of affirmation, and she would love for me to do the dishes more often. But those are the two things we struggle at. You know, the mains we've got. You know, your main quality time, I've got it.
Yeah.
My main it's there. So we don't really. It's not a thing where we feel like we're lacking anything in our relationship.
Right. I don't feel like he doesn't love me.
Right.
And I hope that that's the case the other way. Just because I don't say you look nice today,
That's not a doubt in my mind.
because I don't know when he always looks good, right? But when it's extra, like when I notice something, like if he's wearing something in a certain way or however, and I notice it, I never want it to be something he's just used to hearing. I want him to know, you look really, I want it to be different or special, I guess. Not that when he tells me it's not special, but it's just if I come out of that bathroom and I'm getting ready to go somewhere and he doesn't say you look good and you smell good, I would think something was wrong with him because he just says it. But that's the thing, is that you love me in your love language.
Mm-hmm.
So you love me by telling me, even though that's not my love. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know I'm making sense.
Yes, it's making perfect sense.
See, sometimes I can't feel like I'm making sense. My brain don't work right.
Acts of service. She waits on me hand and foot from the time I get home from work until I go to bed. I don't need anything. I take my shower and I come out and she's serving me my dinner. She's getting me my drink. She's excellent at that because that's what she desires. But she also understands that I lack in
I never
that.
even thought of that.
But you just said it about me.
I know, but I never thought that about me. Literally, until this very moment. I'm not joking with you.
Wow.
Because, like, I do every little thing for you.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Because that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Just learn something about myself.
The 5 love languages go very, very far in a loving marriage, in a marriage that you want to bond and, work. sitting down with your spouse and understanding how they want to be loved, so you can capitalize on that, goes a long way. And they might not have a clue what your love language is. You might not have a clue what your love language is. You sit down and you think about it, and as a couple work on it, it really goes a long way, because you start, it's kind of like going into a new job. You're not going to be that good at it, but once you start getting little building blocks and little keys to the way you do things, things start getting so much better. And that's what that is for us.
And you can take the quiz. I mean,
Mhm.
we'll link it in the bottom. Pretty sure we can find it. I'm sure it's still out there. I read the book years ago,
I didn't read the book.
probably within like the first year of our marriage. I read that book, and I think the quiz is in the book. I think we might have took it that way, but I think we took it again later on online. So I know it's somewhere, but you need to take the test and just see what you are. I mean, I think that you know what you are, but just, you know what I mean. If you take it together, then I don't know, it's fun. And then get the book if you need to learn how to love each other. Maybe I need to get that book because I'm not good at
Books
this
are
stuff.
awesome, because she prefers to do the ebook thing and get it on her iPad or phone or whatever. I hate that idea. I like having a hard copy, so that when I'm sitting down and something pops in my head, I'm gonna say, "Hey," I can look it up and I see it. It's tangible. It's
like
right
this,
there.
like that book behind you. All the.
These two books, we're gonna talk about these in another video.
I know. I just wanted to show something because you're talking about having a book like the tangible one.
Oh yes,
This is like his book that he swears by.
I love that book.
But we read this in our first year of marriage. And if you can see? I'm gonna hold it up high now. All the highlights and stuff. He likes
I don't think
that.
any of those showed up on
They-
camera.
they-
Hey, there's some.
So he can go back and it's neat to go back and see what you highlighted. And I have the hard copy of this. These are the probably only two books that I would say have the hard copy because you want to read them and go reference to them or whatever.
You will always. It's like watching a movie, and every time you watch it, you see something new. And I didn't notice that. When you go back and you look at a book, you're learning something new about yourself every single time, because you will look at it from a different standpoint. Because the point is to grow nonstop. Don't be stagnant. Don't digress. Push forward. So if you're pushing forward, you're constantly learning. And I think that's a beautiful thing about a marriage, is constantly learning each other and learning how you can capitalize on love and be different.
You know, I don't really get ebooks anymore. I go to the library now. Saves money.
I have to find the books.
I think we're off topic.
Yes. 5 love languages. Learn who you are, how you want to be loved, and learn your spouse. It will go a long way. But that's it for this episode of Wednesday with Wife. I believe this is what, number 4?
I think so.
Number 4.
Oh,
Oh,
we have been, I think you have been, at the end of the last couple ones, you were asking people to leave ideas for these videos.
And we're working on a couple of those.
Well, what we're going to do, we talked about it, and I think that this is what we've decided to do.
We're about to find out.
Instead of doing dedicated videos on each one of these questions that people have for us to do a topic on, we were going to take all of these suggestions or questions and do a Q&A
Yes.
with them. So we're just going to make a video answering each person's question, because it's some of the questions, they're not going to be lengthy enough for a video.
Right.
So if we just group them all together and do a Q&A, it might be a long Wednesday video, but I think we'll wait till we get enough questions. We have
It'll
a
be
few
fun.
though.
It'll be fun.
So send questions if you want them answered. By us anyway.
But we love your feedback. We love the support that we're getting, and it's awesome. And I just want to thank you all. Thank you for subscribing, sharing. So until next time, God bless you. Happy marriage.